Hello, girls, guys, or otherwise. This is Rich with your Witchy Book Club series. This week we are finishing out The Outer Temple of Witchcraft by Christopher Pagan, Chapter 17, Lesson 13, The Second Initiation. This is going to be a fairly quick video with fairly minimal editing because, yeah, I have to go down to Dover this weekend, and, yeah, I want to get this video done, and I want to get the Christo-Pagan Sunday video done, so I don't have to do them down there while I'm, away from the computer and whatnot, and I can start getting stuff ready for the Tuesday and Wednesday video for the following week. We are going to not be doing the Witchy Book Club series for a couple weeks. I think I may postpone doing these for 2 weeks, and we'll come back in on November 6th for a new book. I will be next week I will put out a video suggesting different books, because it looks like the sorry about that, looks like the majority of the people who have been commenting said, okay, let's go to another series or another book as a palate cleanser just for one round, and then we'll come back to Christopher Pagan in his series of the Temple series. So in the next one for that would be the Outer Temple of, or the Shamanic Temple of Witchcraft. So anyway, or the Temple of Shamanic Witchcraft, or the Shamanic Temple of Witchcraft. One of those two. Look up Shamanic Temple and Christopher Pagan, you'll find it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this in our grandest tradition. Let's go ahead and see how he starts out this chapter. This is chapter 17, lesson 13, second initiation. But before I go on to that, I do want to say thank you to my first patron. I believe is Sophia, right? I have it here. Hold on. Or I have it on my phone. Give me 1 second. I believe it is Sophia that has become a patron, right? Yes, Sophia. So thank you, Sophia, for becoming a patron. You are a founder of the church that we are starting, the unnamed church as of right now. Make sure that you go to the Discord. There is a link on the Patreon board there to go ahead and become a Discord member as well. So we'll talk. We'll be best buds. Anyway, if you would like to also become a patron, you can find that link down below. Anyway, I've rattled on long enough for this. Let's get into this. We are on page 403. The last ritual you will perform for this year and a day course is initiation. A good start to the final chapter. I have something on me there. There it is. Okay. I don't know what that is, like a little fuzz or something like that. It's bugging the crap out of me, and I can't seem to get it. There we go. Got it. Okay. The thing I wanted to note on this is to remember that we have gone through this book in, like half of a year or so-ish, and these books were supposed to be a year and a day for each individual book. So, yeah. Something to note there, because we've gone through it a little quick, and I'm okay with that. But if you would like to have more of an in-depth look and research into each individual chapter, absolutely, I would suggest that if you are doing this as a year and a day study, in the back of Christopher Pagan's books, he has a wonderful bibliography that is in this book found on 423, 424, and 425. So look up those, and you can't see it there, but yeah, look up those books, and if you want to dive even deeper into all of this stuff, check out those books, because that's where he looked for his information or has received information from others there. So I don't know why I have a pop-up for Xbox, because I don't have Xbox. Go away. Anyway, continuing on at the bottom of 403, the truest test of this last lesson goes on for a lifetime. Let's stop there. Absolutely. Learning the craft and going on with your practice and whatnot is a lifetime pursuit. This is not something that you do one time and done. This is something that goes on and on for the rest of your life. You are not going to become a master at one thing or another, and that's important to note, that you are not a total master, because I don't think there really ever is a master of one thing or another, or of everything. This is a continual learning process, and I think that's important to note. He goes on to say, anyone can learn rituals by rote and do spells out of a book, but not everyone can incorporate the path of the witch into daily life, making it the spiritual foundation needed for even further study and awareness. To do this, you must strive to live a magical life, see the magic in everything, and realize you have a hand in shaping your world. And this is important, because I know for me, there are so many times in my life where I will sit there and I'll be like, oh, there's nothing I can do, and I have that daunting feeling of, oh my gosh, there's nothing I can do about this. This is just the way it's going to be. This is the way it is. This is the way it always has been. And there's nothing I can do about it. That's not true. There is so much that we can do on a personal level to impact those changes on a grander scale. We have a hand in it. We can change the world one little piece at a time. So I did want to note that. Moving on to 404, initiation truly means a new beginning, a challenge or trial that makes us stronger and takes us to a new place in life. I like this description of initiation. It's not it's not something that you just you excel to. It's not somewhere where you end. It is somewhere where you are beginning into something further. Yes, you have worked towards it. That is the culmination, the ending of one part. However, after the initiation, there is another day, and there is something that has to be done the next day and the day after that to further yourself. Moving on to preparation. Many take a second magical name at the second initiation, either discarding the first name or adding to it. I picked my magical name for myself, and it wasn't something that was given to me. It's a mixture of ancestral names and whatnot, and I quite like it. I don't think I would take a second magical name. So yeah, I don't think that would really pertain to me. And I don't think I've ever heard or talked with anybody that had a second magical name. I think for most people, whenever you pick one, you're kind of in love with it. So that's something I never really thought of there. Moving on, an eclectic witch must always be highly educated on many traditions and techniques. Absolutely. If you're going to be eclectic, I would strive to urge that, if you are borrowing from a Wiccan standpoint, then know why the Wiccan tradition does things in those ways. To just say, oh, I like this and I want to incorporate that, is kind of the whole downside of cultural appropriation. Yes, you may like it, but do you know why they do it? And that is a big thorn in my side on that, is yes, I can appreciate it, but unless I know all about it, whenever I incorporate it into my practice, I'm not going to incorporate it into my practice. So And I just noticed that I didn't put something away that's behind me, and you'll see that in tomorrow's video. So whenever you're watching this, you'll see that in the next video. But anyway, getting back to knowing multiple techniques and whatnot, I think that is a very important thing. I think that is something that that you should strive to learn different aspects. And I don't know why my screen is blinking here. What the heck's going on? I'm having some computer issues here. Hopefully everything's fine on your end. But the camera like keeps on flickering. It's really weird. I don't understand why. Anyway. Yes, going back to it. Strive to learn everything that you can about one practice or another. And I think I might actually just... My camera was flickering out there. Don't know what happened or why. I think it's because I was messing with the wires, and my camera's a little temperamental. The new one that I got for on, as a webcam is being a little temperamental today, so I had to jostle it around. And anyway, getting back to the topic. Oh my gosh, how many times am I going to get off topic here? Strive to know things of other cultures, of other religions, especially, and most importantly, especially if you are looking to incorporate those into your practice. Doing, incorporating something into your practice and not fully appreciating where it comes from or why it's there and all that stuff is, in my mind, cultural appropriation, and you're being a dick. But, to each their own, I guess. I can't tell you how to do your practice. I can just heavily suggest it. Anyway, moving on to page 405, about midway down. Many will only buy ritual tools for witches made by witches. I have never heard this before. There's certainly so many metaphysical stores out there, and many of them are they are owned and operated by witches or people who have a connection to the witchcraft community in some way, shape, or form, whether it's whether it's their partner is a witch, or their family, they're from a family of witches, whether they're actually a witch or not, or they practice or not. They may just have this store because of their family and whatnot, and they may be a wonderful artisan. Moving on, I wanted to touch on page 406, and this, I'm going to read the whole paragraph here. While all of these rituals are quite wonderful and loving for a second initiation, you are out of luck if you are solitary, or are a solitary witch, or prefer not to work with a coven. To me, you have already passed the formal initiation of the second level. If you have cast a circle successfully, you have passed the hardest part of the course. The successful creation of sacred space and the ability to do ritual is the most important aspect of being a high priestess or priest. Even if you have done it before, learning all the parts well and developing relationships with all the divine powers deepens your experience. And I want to touch on a couple things. First, he talks about, being a solitary practitioner. There is an ongoing debate about whether you can be initiated into a tradition as a solitary practitioner. Some say, no, you can't. That's for that tradition to do and only them to do. There are some that say, yes, why not? If you've studied and you've done all the exercises and you've done all the steps to get to initiation, why would you not be able to self-initiate? And it's an ongoing debate. I don't see an issue with self-initiation as long as if it's done in a respectful manner. Like, don't go around saying, oh, I initiated myself into uh, a Gardnerian tradition. However, you don't know anything about the Gardnerian tradition. You just wanted to have a label. There has to be an authenticness to the initiation that you are performing as a self-initiated person. Also, be aware that you will be asked questions by people in those traditions because they want to test your knowledge as somebody who designated, hey, I'm good enough to be initiated into this tradition at this level and whatnot. They're going to ask questions, so be ready for those answers, or be ready for those questions and have those answers ready. Um, if you cannot answer the questions that they're going to ask, I would suggest either doing more research, or, if you haven't self-initiated already, to spend a little bit more time making sure that you are absolutely ready to take that mantle. And the reason I say this is because there is a certain reliance that people in the community come to you whenever they know that you are a priest or priestess or member of any type of clergy whatsoever. They will rely on you to have an answer to something specific, or to have a suggestion for something specific. If you haven't researched any of it at all and you don't know about that tradition, then you can't intelligently and honestly, authentically speak on the subject. So if you came to me and said, "Hey, what are your views on Christ?" In the Christo-Pagan uh, uh, tradition and whatnot, then and I wasn't able to answer it, then why would I ever think that? Uh, why would I want to think that I could be considered a minister of Christo-Paganism to other individuals? If I can sit there and give you a long drawn out answer that hits all the points and checks all the boxes of what you're asking, then yes, okay, then I'm valid. The people in the clergy type settings should be able to handle this kind of scrutiny and answer those questions in an intelligent, well thought out manner. Uh, I will also say the downside, or the other side to that. If you are sitting there and you're quizzing a self-initiated person, okay, hold on just a second here. I had a pop up. There we go. If you are quizzing a person who is self-initiated, don't be a dick about it. You don't have to be one of those people that I think it's called fire hosing, where you rattle off 20 different questions and they only catch like 3 or 4 of them because our brains don't absorb all those questions that quickly. But they're trying to answer your questions as they come out, and if they stumble to remember a question, you know don't sit there and say, "Ha, you're not a real, initiate into this practice. How dare you?" No, don't be a dick about it. Give people the chance to answer in an intelligent way. And if they can't answer the one question, only one question, that's not really a reason to discount them. That's a reason to discount that, hey, if you can't answer my questions about the use of, sage in your practice, or in the tradition's practice, if you can't answer the question of what are the properties of all the properties of sage, then yeah, maybe I won't go to you for herbology, but I will go to you for stones and asking questions about stones. Because remember, people have their different niches that they are interested in, that they have more excitement about, that they will research further, that they will know the answers to at the drop of a hat. But they won't always know the answer to every single question. That's important to note. So, don't be a dick about it. This, again, is an ongoing debate of self-initiation and whatnot. He goes on to say the successful creation of sacred space and the ability to do ritual is the most important aspect of being a priestess or priest. Now, I can agree and I can also disagree with this. As a person who is an ordained minister, yes, leading a service is an important part of that. If you are able to lead, a wedding, a funeral, a general service, baptisms, any rites of passage type deals, you should be able to do those things. Yes, those are major aspects. However, that's only part of the job. As a priest or priestess, or whenever I think of a priest or priestess, I also think of somebody who is able to listen and give good counsel, has a level head about them that will inspire you to live a better life, to on how to fix a situation that you're in. If you're in a crappy situation, they will give you suggestions and answers and help you out in ways that are more one-on-one rather than in a coven setting. So I can kind of disagree with him on this. If you're taking up the mantle of priestess and priest, please expect to be asked that, from a member of your coven, of your group, whatever you want to call it, that, expect that they can, or probably will, come up to you at some point and ask for suggestion, ask for, a helping hand in some way, shape, or form, whether that is, helpful energy, or whether that's just somebody that they need to have there to sit and listen to their gripes and complaints. I've done this on plenty of occasions with not only, people coming to me, but me going to other clergy members, and sitting there and just, venting for a little bit. And one thing that I've always said to a chaplain that I knew is, if he looks like he had a harder day or something like that, and he would be like, just lost in contemplation and whatnot. I said, Chaplain Bob, you okay? Great chaplain, by the way. He says, oh yeah, I'm good, but you can tell that something's weighing on him. I said, Chaplain Bob, I said, yeah, you're a chaplain and all that. I said, but who's there to counsel the counselor? Having somebody to go to. And this is something even for those who take up the mantle of priest or priestess in their respective traditions. Make sure that you have somebody that you can go to as well, that you can vent to, that isn't below you in the group setting. Have it as a fellow clergy member, maybe even somebody outside of the clergy, maybe your own therapist and whatnot. Therapy is great, and I do suggest it, but have somebody that you can go to, because there needs to be somebody there to help counsel the counselor. And sometimes we can't see our own answers that are in front of us, the answers that we should be having that are in front of us and quite plain to see. We can't seem to see those because we are in our own ways, or in our own way. So yeah, that's a couple notes that I wanted to give on the priesthood or priestesshood, respectively, or the non-gender conforming clergy member of a coven, which I don't know if there is a word for. And if anybody knows a word for somebody who is non-binary, or a title for somebody who is non-binary in a coven setting, I would be most appreciative, because I have not heard one yet. And I would very much like to educate myself on that. As most of you have known, since I've been doing these videos throughout this past year and whatnot, I have started to take strides and actually continued to take strides on making sure that I use the correct pronouns for individuals. And that's something that, I still slip up on a lot of times. And I I correct myself in plain view because I want to make sure that in my mind I'm being correct in how I'm doing this. And I think I might have even said earlier, you guys, and I do apologize for that. You all. These are things that I'm trying to curb my my verbiage in my own life and trying to correct. So yeah, that is something I'm striving to do. And if you know what a non-binary individual would go by in a coven setting as a clergy member of a priest or a priestesshood, let me know. I would very much like to know that answer and be able to correctly identify people. So that is all that I have for the last chapter, because after that is the ritual, and then he goes on to there it is, the Temple of Shamanic Witchcraft. Got it. I knew it was one of those. Anyway, he goes on to say that go to this book if you would like to continue and whatnot. And I think that would be an awesome book to go to, but I'm a little burned out on Christopher Penzak for right now. If you agree with the takes, disagree with these takes and whatnot that I take at Christopher Penzak, leave a comment below. Like, dislike, do whatever. Just make sure you hit one of them, because that helps the algorithm of YouTube and appeases the algorithmic gods of YouTube. All hail the algorithmic gods of YouTube. Y'all knew it was coming. Yeah, make sure you hit subscribe, hit that bell notification for more videos by me. And yeah, we're going to continue with the Christo-Pagan series, the church catechism type of deal that I'm explaining, what aspects of the ritual are going on. We are going to be discussing the construction of circle, and we are, I believe, no. Yes, yeah, I think we are discussing the construction of circle. So, yeah. And I think we're also going to talk about what's on the altar. Did I? Now I can't remember if I included the construction of circle. Maybe I didn't. I know I included what I'm doing to prepare for each ritual. I know that we're going over what is on the altar during the ritual and why it's there, all that stuff. So I don't know if I did the construction of circle. I know I didn't perform it for the video, and if I don't cover that, that'll be in the following weeks, along with the elements. Yeah. I think that's how we're doing it. Anyway, until next time, comments below, all that stuff. Anyway, remember to hit that Patreon too, if you would like to be a founding member for as low as $5, but you can give more if you wish. So, anyway, that's all that I have for this book in its entirety, The Outer Temple Witchcraft by Christopher Penzak. Overall, my views on this book, I enjoyed it. I think it sparked a lot of conversation, a lot of things to think about, and I'm excited to go on to the next book. I know that if it is in fact the majority of individuals who have commented on the videos, and I'm pretty sure most people did comment, let's go to another book for one book series or one book thing. I don't know, book study. There we go. I think that the Modern Magic book will be one of the contenders for that. And I'm also thinking of a couple different ones here and there. But I do like this book. I recommend this book. So, yeah, that will definitely be a contender. And if we end up doing that, yeah, I think I might be doing a giveaway on, or doing a book giveaway with the giveaway that I'm doing for October. If you don't know about that giveaway, that means you haven't seen the video on the 1st of October. Go back and view that video. Make sure you do things appropriately and enter to win. I will send anywhere in the world. So, you know, go to the video, the October 1st video. It's the big project reveal video. So anyway, I'm sorry, I have Jelly down here. She's really loving up on me because she knows I'm gonna be gone for 2 days. So yeah, she's really getting her daddy lovin's in. She's also shedding. So anyway, that's all that I have for this week. Until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye.